Hello everyone, my name is Asisipho Mbingeleli and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video guys, we'll be answering this evolution question from a previous question paper. The fat content of cow's milk may vary between 2.6% and 5%. A farmer has found that there is a high demand for low-fat milk. So this is basically milk with content of 3% or less. He determined the fat content in the milk that is produced by cows in his farm. So let us use this information to draw a histogram. So this is obviously the type of graph with bars and no spaces in between the bars. Okay, so you obviously use your ruler and your pencil to draw your graph. I don't have a ruler specifically, and it might not come out perfectly because of the type of pen that I'm using, but you will understand everything. Then the first thing that you need to write is your caption, and in your caption you need to have both variables from the table that you're given. So your caption needs to have the words fat content and also number of cows. A histogram showing the number of cows producing milk with different fat content. Now, whether you include the percentage sign or not, it doesn't matter. But your caption should be able to give us information about both variables and what the graph is about. Then you draw your axis using a ruler, your y-axis and your x-axis, and neatly draw them. Then obviously you will need to use the data given. So let's start with the fat content first. You use a ruler to measure the spaces for your histogram bars, and you make sure that the bar width or the spaces here are equal. So if you are using 2 centimeter, you're measuring 2 centimeter here for the first fat content, which is 2.6 to 3. You can actually take a picture of this table. So if you're also drawing the graph with me, take a picture of the table. Then we're going to use that information obviously to draw the graph. So 2.6 to 3%. So that will be the space for the first bar. Then the second one is 3.1 to 3.5. So remember, if you measured 2 centimeter for this first bar, you should also measure 2 centimeter for this second one. They need to be the same size. Okay. Same applies to the third one, which will be for 3.6% to 4. It will also be 2 centimeter here. Then 4.1 to 4.5, same space. Then 4.6 to 5. Remember, I'm just talking about 2 centimeters. You don't have to use 2 centimeters. You can use 1 centimeter or 3 centimeters. It's up to you, as long as you are consistent with the size that you've chosen. Then the number of cows. So the data that we have, 11, 66, 93, 61, 15. You obviously now need to choose your scale. So you use the data given in order for you to choose the scale. So some learners can choose a scale of 5. I think 5 might work. 5, 10, 15, 20, or 10. 10 might also work. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 1 might be too small. 2 might be too small. But as long as in your scale there is an equal increment, there's equal intervals and all of that, you will get a mark. So for this one, I will just use intervals of 10. Remember, I'm not using a ruler, guys. For you, you use a ruler to measure an equal size of your increments. If you are using book lines, you can also use the book lines and indicate with the scale lines. Okay, so this will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. The largest number is 93, so I'm going to end at 100. Now, we also need to label this information that we've written here on our x-axis. This is the fat content, and this is copy and paste, guys. If you go to our table, the first column, the information will go on your x-axis, and the second column, the information goes to your y-axis. So simple stuff. So this will be the fat content. It's a copy and paste. We're copying this column heading, and it's in percentage. Then it's the number of cows on the y-axis. We write it in full. Number of cows. Okay. Then for fat content 2.6 to 3%, there is 11 cows. So this is a 10, my 11 will be somewhere here. I use a ruler to draw this bar. Okay, neatly do it. 3.1 to 3.5, there is 66 cows. So there is 60, there is 70, 65 will be here, 66 will be somewhere here. Okay. I'm sure there's a way of drawing a graph with this device that I'm using. I just need to actually go on YouTube and find out. You see, mine is not neatly done. Please don't judge me. I won't judge you. Yeah, I'm sure there's a way I could use a ruler. I just need to learn how to do it on this device because it's quite advanced, but yeah, I'll figure it out. So 3.6 to 493. So there is a 91, 2, 3. 93 can't be here because this will be 95. So 93 will be somewhere there. Okay. Then I'm trying my best, I promise. Yeah. 4.1 to 4.5, 61. There is a 60, 61 will be here. Remember, if you use a ruler, this will come out nicely. 15. 15 is here. So there is 15. Wow. I am trying. Right? Something like this. Guys, I think we're done with the graph. How is this marked? How do you get your 6 marks? Let me show you quickly. The marking code is TCLSP. T is the type of graph. So the question asks you to draw a histogram. So if you've drawn a histogram, so this is basically bars with no spaces in between, you get a tick before we even look at anything else. Then C is for the caption. There is your caption. Your caption has the variables that we want. Number of cows producing milk with different fat content. So that's what we're looking for. Then you get a mark. Labels is for labeling the x-axis and also the y-axis. You've also included the units for the x-axis. We don't have any units for the number of cows, but if there were any units, you would need to include them. So L. S is for a lot of things. Firstly, we look at your scale, and your increments and your intervals. Everything will need to be correct, guys, here. 10, 20, 30, 40. You didn't just take the numbers 11, 66, 93 and place them here. Yo, that is illegal. Please don't do that. That is illegal. That is actually disrespectful if you do that, because there's no teacher that taught you to do that. So please don't do it, guys. Okay? Then we look at your bars. They need to be the same size. So this bar will need to be the same size as this one, meaning the same width basically. So if you take a ruler, I should be able to measure. If I'm measuring 2 centimeters on the first one, I should also get 2 centimeters here, 2 centimeters. I can even measure it here. It doesn't have to be on the outside. So this should be equal. Then you get a mark. So there's a lot of things that we look at. Then P is for plotting. If all your bars are plotted accurately, you then get 2 marks. You will be penalized if your bars are not neatly plotted. Please note. Okay. Shoo. Maybe I should just record a video and talk about how we mark the graphs and some of the mistakes that you need to avoid making. If you need that video, please do let me know in the comment section and I will definitely record that video. So 6 marks done. Calculate the percentage of the farmers' cows. Calculate the percentage of the farmers' cows that produce low-fat milk. So We are given the number of cows that are producing the different fat contents here, and they're asking us to calculate the percentage of the cows that produce low fat milk. They've given you the information here to say with low fat milk, it's the one that produces a content of 3% or less. So 3% or less is this one. And there is 11 cows, because from here on, it's 3.1. So that is more than 3%. Okay, so there's 11 cows that are producing low fat milk. Out of, you need to add all of these numbers to get the number of cows that he has in his farm. So you should be getting 246. Then you multiply that by 100, because we are looking for a percentage. You will then get 4.47%. And remember, in life sciences, your answer should be rounded off to 2 decimal places and not a whole number. Okay, so how this will be marked, you will then get a mark for this part of your calculation, that's 1 mark, and also your answer with the percentage unit. I hope you guys are still with me. State the type of variation that occurs in the cows based on the evidence in the table. We're seeing a range here. So there is a range, so that will obviously be continuous variation. Continuous variation. Okay, now for 1 mark, give a reason for your answer. Why are you saying it's continuous variation? Because there is a range of intermediate phenotype. Or you could have said, you just get a mark for that, or you could have said the fat content is a range.